Hello, it's nice to see you again. The pandemic has caused disruption around the world, but this could be an opportunity for environmental changes as countries try to adapt and recover from the crisis. There are a number of possible futures. All depends on how governments and society responds to coronavirus and its economic aftermath. Hopefully, we will use this situation to rebuild and produce better things that are more humane. Two concurrent global crises in the health and economic sector has struck the world. The public health response to the COVID-19 pandemic has set in a globally synchronized economic recession that is putting the financial system on the brink and leaving behind no obvious engines of global growth. Indonesian government has combined social protection measures such as free electricity with income support, including unemployment protection for preventing job loss and for supporting those who have lost their jobs as a direct result of the crisis. The measures Indonesia has taken over the last week, ramping up COVID-19 testing capacity and coverage, goes a long way towards addressing its immediate needs. Let's look back at the past pandemics that has happened before. In the 50s, United Kingdom has faced Black Plague that changed the country's economics. And in the 1918s, with the Spanish flu that has caused the death of millions. The responses to COVID-19 pandemic are simply the amplification of the dynamic that drives other social and ecological crises. The prioritization of one type of value over others. This dynamic has played a large part in driving global responses to COVID-19. So as responses to the virus, how do you think our economics will develop in the future? Well, there are four possible futures, looking from an economic perspective, that is. A descent into barbarism, a robust state capitalism, a radical state socialism, and a transformation into a big society built on mutual aid. Well, there are other possibilities. First is we will be prepared for the future, for the worst in the future. A world that is fighting a killer virus will learn to not commit the same mistakes over again. Countries will place precautionary and emergency plans to face future pandemics and biological warfare. This factor indicates that the world will indeed be better after pandemic. Individuals who have been psychologically affected by the major changes in their daily lives, whether it's quarantine, social distancing, or partial and total lockdown, have grown the ability to adapt to any harsh conditions and get used to the temporary lifestyle imposed by the epidemics. In other meanings, they became mentally strong. The second one will focus on future developments and technology developments. Countries need to have developed technologies and advanced curricula in communicable diseases, no? Third is climate change. This will certainly happen. Citizens from some of the world's most polluted cities have been able to breathe easier. Carbon emissions will fall more this year than ever before, according to the International Energy Agency. Even my friends from out of town say that they can see the blue sky so vividly now. But will it last? And the last one is nothing will change. People who spent a long time in isolation and deprived from social gatherings will be more willing to return to a life that will give them space and freedom. Humans are naturally social beings after all. Can't assume that a person will always be adjusted to an isolated lifestyle once we got back to normal. The economy that is supposed to be support new technologies and advancement will return to fight climate changes. So we can't assume that it'll be better after this crisis. The legitimate that focuses on the current responses should not distract us from the fact that COVID-19 has come between the ongoing and escalating crisis. The pandemic should instead make us more aware that the development's path based on over-exploitation of natural resources and changes in land has reached its limits. We can't say for sure that how will the world turn out after the pandemic and the future? We will only know once we are there. Stay safe, guys. Atanasha out.